Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
Coming up, are you moving, remodeling, or just redecorating? We have some apps to keep the experience not as stressful and more fun.
Plus, the public demands bigger iPads, worshiping at the Church of Apple, and a big Christmas in the App Store.
All that and the prettiest resume builder you ever did see on iPad today.
Oh my. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
Friends. Welcome to iPad today. I'm a little hoarse still from just partying too much.
That's cool.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
You don't mind?
No.
We had a little bit of a party here. Actually, I can't believe the place doesn't really smell like a brewery. I thought it would. We spilled 30 bottles of champagne.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
And a few other assorted beverages on our New Year's Eve show, much of which I think will be up on YouTube or the internet soon. This is iPad Today, where we talk about
Everything iPad. iPad apps, iPad culture, the Church of Apple. Gonna get to that a little bit later. But, you know, I was trying to think of what would be a great New Year's theme. And, you know, the obvious stuff is like getting back into shape or helping planning your life. And if you're somebody who's maybe thinking, well, you know, I want to start over new, I want, you know, fresh start, that sort of thing. Maybe you're thinking about what to do inside your home.
Oh, come on, admit it. You're moving, and this is all about what you're going to do when you move.
Yeah, actually, the apps that I found are extremely helpful.
But did you do this the last time you moved? You laid out the house and stuff and moved the furniture accordingly?
I didn't have access to the apps that I have found that I've been using for the last couple of weeks.
Better this time.
I think so. The first app that I really like is called MagicPlan, and I actually probably wouldn't have found this app on my own. This is something that an interior designer friend of mine...
This thing is literally magic.
It is actually. She took out her iPad one day and she was taking the dimensions of a room. What you do is you actually use the iPad's camera itself in order, and it kind of guides you through. You take pictures of certain corners and then you indicate when there's a door and that sort of thing. So this is actually literally my new living room. You can't see here, there's some stairs here because I didn't exactly know how to input those. But in general, it's to a T, and I just did this with my built-in camera on my iPad. You start at a corner, it kind of goes like, okay, you know, you take a picture of the corner, the next corner, pretty much all corners, you indicate when a door starts and ends, and then it knows when the room is finished when you take a photo of that original corner again. So if I say, okay, well, this is my living room, and got this sort of weird area that's kind of like a dining room, but I'm not exactly sure what to do with this space over here. Is it going to become an office? I don't know. It's really neat. So let's say, those are some plans that I've already gone through, but let's say I want to create a new room. Okay, new plan. Come on. Here we go. Okay, and capture a room using a camera. Okay, that's what I want to do. And then it's like, well, what are we talking about?
You have 9 floors?
No. This is just, these are just templates.
Okay.
It's saying what kind of dimensions are you taking? What kind of a house is this? So let's just go ahead and say ground floor, and we'll go ahead and say kitchen. Now I'm going to be using corners in this room, so it's not going to be really all of that.
At floor level. Aim at the first corner.
All that accurate.
Using the green pointer.
All right, so I say, all right, that's my first corner, and then you can see it goes, okay, we're building our room here. Sort of hard to show you.
You can't really, yeah, because you're gonna make it a very small room.
All right, that's all right. I'm just kind of giving you an idea.
I used this in the new house, and it was amazing.
Capture the first corner again to complete the room.
So this is a little silly.
We live in a sliver.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do too much and have you guys not understand what I was doing.
But notice you could fix it. You could drag those walls around if you did that.
Yeah. This is just it's sort of like a first pass. And if you do it well, and it really, really helps if you have an empty room, of course, because then you don't have to be, you're not shooting behind anything. It's extremely helpful just to get a sense of, well, how many feet is that one wall? Will my stereo fit on it, or my couch, or maybe you're looking to get something new? I think that it really is pretty magic. So that's MagicPlan, and the nice thing about it is it's completely free. It's from a company called Sensopia.
Can you then assign, like, give wallpapers or put furniture in it, or is it just give you the plan?
MagicPlan is a lot more about
Just the floor plan.
dimensions.
Yeah.
It's almost it's sort of the the drafting side of all this. However, I'm glad you asked, because there's another app called Homestyler that does pretty much everything else. Where are we? Where are
It'd
we?
be so nice
Homestyler.
if you could take the plan from MagicPlan and input it into Homestyler.
Well, they're different because Homestyler is it's really about style, where MagicPlan is a lot more about dimensions and kind of drafting. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and here we go, my Homestyler here. I've gone ahead and there's a bunch of stuff going on with Homestyler, and which is also a free app, so that's very cool. What I've done here is I've used a room. This is a virtual room. It doesn't necessarily exist anywhere, as a template for
But I would move there if it did.
Yeah, right? And it's beautiful. Wouldn't that be a great dining room or something? So I'm kind of like, okay, well, what would I do with my beautiful studio room where 2 of the walls are windows? And that can be somewhat inconvenient, right? If you want to put something up against a wall, you don't want to hide the window. So we go ahead and say, all right, let's redesign this room. Now I've added a little wallpaper and I've added sort of a strange coffee table just to see what would happen. So you go ahead and load your redesign, and for some reason it's taking a really long time, and I'm not exactly sure why. It shouldn't be.
It's because you use wallpaper from the 18th century. It has to go get it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Okay, it was just taking a while. So it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? You want to style a wall? You want to look at our catalog of, and this is, by the way.
Don't get that chair, whatever
this
you
one?
do. Yeah.
See, no, but this chair, if you get
It's
rid of
so
the
ugly.
wallpaper, all of a sudden, I don't know.
You like it?
I don't really hate it. I think you can actually,
You can make it work.
What you don't like is the style
Don't
wall.
mix the two of the wallpaper and the chair.
But look, you've got like Sherwin-Williams
Oh, that's
paint.
neat. So it's real paint chips. These aren't fake paint chips.
No. And you figure out, okay, well, what's what template are you looking for here? Like, if I had a chair like that, I don't know, maybe I want the wall, and you go ahead and say, let's just go ahead and paint that wall. All right, now we definitely want to take.
But is that wallpaper or is that a design of some? I mean, is that like part of the function? No, it's wallpaper, just changing the color of it.
Well, yeah, because I haven't actually taken the wallpaper down.
I see.
So what you would do is, okay, go ahead, style wall.
First, get rid of the wallpaper.
Get rid of the wallpaper.
Ah, I see. Okay. So those are real wallpapers too.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, this is like real stuff.
Wish I could get that nano door. That would be nice.
This.
Yeah.
And
We want to do that in the kitchen. I want to open it up to the outside.
It's neat.
Oh, that's cool.
It gives you.
And you can buy all this stuff. This is real stuff.
It's real stuff from real manufacturers, and that's sort of part of what you either may like about this or not like about it. But I feel like just the catalog alone. Let's say you're like, okay, I don't know, maybe new bed stuff. I hate all my bed stuff, or the kids' bed. What do you buy for kids these days?
Wow,
I mean,
look at that.
You can really get a lot of ideas, and the dimensions are extremely helpful when you're sort of like.
You just put a cradle in there.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. You could take the. You could take.
Are you
the
trying to
chair
tell us
out.
something? You playing in a nursery now?
Nope.
Don't get that chair. That definitely. Yeah.
There you go.
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
now you got a nice kids' room. Get rid of the coffee table. Kids don't need that. And all of a sudden, yeah, I can't say that that's my favorite wallpaper I've ever seen, but with the crib,
That's so cool.
yeah. So you can have a little bit of fun with it. Now, as somebody who's really interested in this app, you can save these designs. You can make them public. So there's a social element to it. I was looking through some other people's designs. There's varying degrees of quality, but mine aren't really all that great either. But I think really it's more of like a personal, just how do I get excited about this space? Are things gonna fit? Are they gonna look weird? And I enjoy it.
It'd be neat if you could subscribe to interior designers, and different real interior designers could say, well, this is what I envision for this wall.
Well, there are actually. There are. Now this is actually really cool because you saw.
These are actual designs.
These are actual, but they're 3D
Look at that.
designs. This is not a
Oh.
real room. This is something that someone put together virtually with the same tools that we have.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So it's like.
So this is
okay.
the social element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can go.
Do they have a QR code
That's
painting
amazing.
on the wall?
What do you mean?
Is that painting a QR code?
No.
No, not that one.
Oh no.
Words are flowing out like
it's probably inspirational or something like
it's
that.
Beatles.
Yeah. So these are all like fake rooms that could be possible with the right equipment. I mean, I love that. I would love my office to look
look at
like that. So anyway, there's a lot to it. Again, social stuff. People are kind of talking about, oh, I really like what you did with this room and that sort of thing. But I think I love it. Then of course there's Homestyler magazine, which is actually a magazine that is associated with Autodesk. And then you've got all sorts of like, what are the trends in interior design? If you care about stuff like
this
that.
is great.
Yeah, it's chock full of information.
So this is from Autodesk.
Yeah.
Neat.
Apparently blue is a big color this year. So everyone go cobalt and you'll be very on trend.
I have no blue in my house. None.
I have a little blue here and there. I've got some accents.
We have blue here.
There you go.
We knew.
It's sort of
about
Twitter blue.
So I use MagicPlan, and one of the things MagicPlan, the first app does, at the end of it, it says, okay, now measure one of these walls and tell us what it actually is, so that that will adjust all of our measurements to make them 100% accurate. And I was blown away at how accurate it was.
Yeah.
It really does a good job.
It's not like there's really no learning curve. You just follow the directions. There's a nice soothing voice that says, "Take a photo of the corner."
We heard her.
Now.
We heard her. Please.
Yes.
Take a picture.
Yes.
Very cool.
So that is, I don't know. I've been using these apps nonstop.
You're going to share with us your plan?
What do you mean? Oh, for the home?
Yeah. I want to see what it looks like.
Well, it's.
Where's the cat bed going? That's what I want to know.
Oh, there's a lot of those. Pretty much every corner.
Do they have, like pre-made kitty cat scratching posts and stuff you could put right in there in the design?
No, well, I didn't look. They don't
really
take up
need
that much
that.
space.
They really need that, because I think if that's a critical part of the overall plan, then you need to have a cat bed in there.
Well, the cat bed, you kind of throw it in a closet and bring it out and put it on the couch and that sort of thing.
Okay.
But no, cat scratcher is very important. Anybody who wants to get a new couch, make sure you get that scratcher if you also have a cat, so that you don't get your couch ruined. But that's a whole nother story. I don't know. So you're familiar with MagicPlan already?
Yeah, we used it on the new house because I want to know what the square footage was. And what I didn't do, and what I wish is that there was some way to integrate that with the furniture that we had, the furniture that we bought, so that you could somehow at least figure out how that would all go. But I guess once you have the layout, the floor plan, you're 90% of the way there anyway. You can at least see, will it fit through the door is a good idea.
If anyone has...
I actually had an apartment once.
And?
Where we couldn't... That's all.
Okay.
No, where we couldn't... I couldn't get my furniture in it. The door was so small...
Well, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about some of the exterior.
The moving men said, no, you can't get it in there. I said, can't you angle? He said, no, we'd have to take the window out and use pulleys and lift it in. So we got a storage locker, and I slept on the floor.
And you could never bring your couch in?
No, it was quite a bit of furniture that never got in. That was in North Beach, and the houses were narrow.
Yeah, no, it could be challenging, right? I mean, if it's your own house, then sure, you take out a wall or something. But yeah, when you're renting, it's
no, I couldn't take the window out.
Right.
It wasn't gonna work.
No, I don't think my new landlord would like that at all. But
according to Web 80 in the chat room, New York City has at least 2 companies that will take apart and your furniture, bring it in, and then put it back together again, even if it wasn't meant to be taken apart. Disassemble your furniture for insertion.
Yeah, there's that.
You don't have a piano.
No. Please.
Grand piano or something like that.
Nope, I don't play, nor do I have room for things like that.
And the cat apartment building can be disassembled and reassembled inside.
Those aren't that big. I don't know.
Why do I imagine that there is a giant structure
it's not that
that
giant.
goes and there's tunnels? I'm thinking maybe like a habit trail for gerbils only, or small, but blown up. There's like a cat wheel in it?
No. I'm sure they exist somewhere, but
sure
my
there's a
cats
cat wheel.
pretty much just kind of like want to hang out on the bed and the couch, kind of places that I am as well. But if anybody has, it doesn't have to be just about home decorating. I mean, maybe you're just like, I hate the way that TV is like reflecting in the window, and I want to change my living room around, that sort of thing. It might not even be that you're moving at all. I think that there are a lot of uses for these sorts of apps, and both of them are very cool and very free. And I was actually kind of surprised. I feel like MagicPlan could charge me money and I'd still happily use it because it's so helpful, but it's free. So you should have it at your disposal. I mean, you could do it by yourself with a tape measure and some graph paper, but who wants to do that when you have an iPad?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel I've let you down, that I should have some tips, some some apps for this, but that's the one I used was MagicPlan.
Well, that's good. Then we agree.
It's the right one. It's really kind of amazing.
You know, Distimo, or Distimo, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. I say Distimo, has an app IQ data that they compile every year. And, you know, as many companies do that try to figure out, okay, well, what were big days in the App Store, and, you know, what are some trends that we're seeing? And they had some pretty good numbers. For the App Store, Apple's App Store, downloads rose by 53% on Christmas. That is compared to just an average day in December.
Wow.
Yeah. So Christmas Day, super crazy because you figure people are already buying apps, you know, the month of December. You'd think that it would be on the rise a little bit because people are getting new stuff maybe a few days early. The amount of revenue increased by 56%. However, so you go, wow, that's great. But it's lower than back in 2011, the Christmas Day spike had tripled. And it doubled in 2012.
You know why? People were waiting to December 26th so they could get their 12 days of gifts from Apple.
You think?
No.
Okay.
Have you been getting your gifts?
I have, yeah. Well, because I have push notifications. I probably wouldn't have remembered otherwise.
Not so great.
Well, what do you not like about free things?
Yeah, well, they're free. I guess you can't really.
I think that's sort of the key
They
here.
are free.
They had, you know, on Twitter the other day, the movie Hugo, which is a very good movie.
Good movie, wonderful movie.
Was a free gift.
That was on, I missed it.
12 days of gifts. Well, you should have your notifications on.
Was it like HD Hugo and 3D and all that? Like the full?
It's the movie that you would buy on iTunes.
Not the first 10 minutes? It was the full thing?
Whole thing.
Okay,
But you
well,
only
that's
get the
pretty good.
24 hours. Like you miss it, you miss the window.
Oh,
That's the
but
end
was
of
it a rental or did you own?
It's yours for life. It's a free movie for
See,
you.
I didn't allow it to do notifications.
Well,
Stupid me.
Well,
I'm gonna turn
it's
them
not
on
too
now.
late. You've got 4 more days of this.
Today's Diary of a Wimpy Kid, book 1.
Which I downloaded.
You never know. You might have a kid.
It's in the it's iBook.
Right.
But that's actually cool. I hadn't even thought about books. I thought, oh, okay, it'll be a song, an app, you know, a movie here or there, but books as well. So there's, you know, it's free stuff. But I have seen people complaining on Twitter like, well, I didn't want this free
Well, what else
thing.
did you get? Because I haven't been paying attention. I only saw a couple of things. Was there anything? Hugo's good.
Yeah, that was the other day.
Academy Award
Maybe it
winning
was
motion
yesterday?
picture.
Was it yesterday? No, it was Monday because I talked about it on I-5, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I don't know.
Were there
I
any
don't
great
understand.
games in there?
I just don't even bother with those because I know that we're going to talk about it on this
Because
show.
I'll force you to pay attention. Watch me play
All right.
a stupid
all right.
game for hours.
Sunday was Hugo, but so you've got these spikes on Christmas Day, and of course, you know, this a little bit obvious stuff. Destimo says most of this is all Western market based. You know, the download volume in the UK increased by 161% on Christmas Day. That's crazy. Revenues in the US almost doubled in the App Store on Christmas Day, but of course in large Asian app markets, Japan, Korea, you don't see spikes like that. First of all, Christmas is celebrated in certain countries more than others. That's obvious.
Well, but I think what I would say is what this tells you is how many iPads, iPod Touches, and iPhones were gifted
Exactly.
on Christmas Day. If you didn't celebrate Christmas, well, it's meaningless.
Yeah, I mean,
But in
how many
countries where
people are
Christmas
getting
is
gift
celebrated-
cards? I'm sure that accounts for a small amount of the spike, but I think
Michael
it's mostly
got
new hardware.
$35, $40 in gift cards.
All right.
But what we wouldn't say is, oh, spend it all tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
on gifts. I think it's new hardware mostly that you're going to see those downloads, right? Because that's the first thing you do.
Yeah, you open up
is
your
stock it
iPad
up.
and you say, oh, I want the new Angry Birds. I heard
Right.
that that's a great
Right.
game and I feel left out, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
What do you think about writing for Recode.net, which is the new spinoff of All Things D?
Kara Swisher and Walt Mossberg.
Walt
That's their new thing.
Mossberg wrote about the Church of Apple and how
I was so
people
surprised
take
that
it all
Walt-
too seriously.
I was so surprised Walt wrote this.
Why?
Well, he feels like a worshiper at the Church of Apple. It's kind of like, really, Walt, you don't like Apple that much, huh?
Well,
He's not saying don't like it, just that it's a business. It's not a church.
I get the impression that maybe this was something that he had always wanted to write, and it wouldn't have been
interesting.
cool as the Apple
think?
guru for the Wall Street
That
Journal.
once, because this is his first stuff away from the Wall Street Journal. Kara
That's
Kara
right.
left a long time ago. All Things D was not. I mean, it was kind of loosely owned by the Wall Street Journal, but there
Right.
wasn't the Wall Street Journal. So you think maybe they said you can't write that, Walt?
Well, I think that, as we've talked about in the past, there are certain people who are kind of media darlings for Apple. That John Gruber is an Apple enthusiast, writes great stuff, always gets invited to all the events. And I know that in the community, and he's just one example, I'm not singling anybody out. In the community, it's kind of understood that, Apple will revoke privileges for journalists if they don't feel like you're playing really nice with them. That's a known thing. So I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but I think that might be part of the issue.
I think it might also be, I don't want to say link bait, but Walt knows that people are going to be paying a lot of attention to Recode today.
Right.
Because this is the day it launched.
Yep.
And it would make sense that you would write the story, perhaps that you've always wanted to write, although I doubt very much he had any restrictions on what he could write. But you would want to write the story that's going to get the most attention. And that's a story, especially coming from Walt Mossberg, that's a big story that he would come out and say. Now, it wasn't just Apple, because he said any computer company. He used Apple as an example.
Yeah.
But for anybody. I love this picture of the Apple Store.
The thing about it is we've talked about this a lot in the past, because sometimes Leo and I will be critical of something that Apple has done or not done, or the way that iOS 7 works, or that sort of thing, and people will say, "Hey, isn't this supposed to be a show that is happy about?"
We don't want to do a cheerleader show.
Right.
Right.
But that's life. Nothing's perfect. You can be really, really enthusiastic about a certain operating system. I love Apple, but I'm not going to sit here and say that every single decision that's made is the right one and it's better than anything that Android does.
We don't represent Apple. We represent you, the Apple user.
Right.
We love Apple users. Can we say that?
Yes.
And if Apple does something that's not right, well,
we
then
like
we're gonna,
the congregation of the church.
we don't exactly. That's a good way to put it. The congregation's great.
Yeah.
And then if I think really it's Walt saying, "Hey, I am not. You may think of me as an Apple fanboy. I'm not.
Right.
And I'm going to be completely independent." And that's probably a smart way for him to begin Recode. I will watch with great interest to see what they do. You know who one of their investors is, though? Comcast, NBC Universal.
Right. And.
They still have controlling interest, but I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Why do you think NBC Universal put money into that?
Well, I guess my first impression would be that there may be some sort of a joint.
Like maybe some broadcast stuff going on.
Well,
Yeah,
because
they're
going to continue the events,
the Code
conferences.
Event. Their conference is going to be called Code.
Yeah. So I think that
up.
there could be a pretty nice tie-in, because some of these names are huge.
Oh, they're getting Sergey Brin will be their kickoff for Code this year.
Right. So this is something that's like, I don't know, spin this into some sort of a NBC special.
And then Terry Semel, former CEO of Yahoo, who now has a venture capital, also investing that. I think it's great. I wish him all the best. All Things D was a go-to journal for us, and I think I would expect continued fair coverage of Apple.
I would say so too, and I think that the Walt Mossberg's article, where he calls it the Church of Apple, is probably not anything that's you haven't heard before, but it's just a sort of a reminder that, hey, people like what they like, and this is just a tech product after all, and it's not some sort of a judgment on your character if you prefer what you prefer, as long as it's working for you. These are tools.
Glad Walt noticed that. That's
Me
good.
too. Got an email, a couple of emails actually, that were in response to, we haven't done the show because we were off last week, but
Those darn holidays really screw up the schedule.
Yeah, well, but we didn't miss a show because we pre-recorded last week's show.
I hope you enjoyed our best of.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a best of, really.
Oh, it's like...
It was our
Best stuff from
2013 year in
2013.
review type thing. But Donna wrote and said, Sarah was wondering on a previous show what use we would have for a larger iPad. And she said, I was screaming at the TV. She's very upset.
It's not unusual.
Are you forgetting artist? Painting, drawing, editing photos would be so much better if the iPad was bigger. Haven't you seen great digital art done with the iPad? If it were bigger, it would be more competition for the Cintiq made by Wacom. Not to mention if it were pressure sensitive. They've already made a pressure sensitive pen. Bigger the better when drawing. Donna, that is a very good point. I was thinking portability, I guess, more than a huge screen
I just
for
think
real estate.
that's a specialty market. You know, I gave my mom for Christmas the pen, the Wacom pen that you use on the iPad, because she loves her iPad and she's an artist.
Yeah.
And she loves drawing. She used to draw with a Wacom tablet on the desktop. But you know, that's a little weird because you're drawing here and the picture comes out here, and it takes a little while to get used to. The Cintiq is a good example where you draw right on the screen. That's a Wacom product. And she loves this pen. She sent me some drawings right away. I mean, it's really fun for her. But I think that's a specialty market. I don't think Apple's going to release a big iPad just for people who want to draw on it.
You would think not. However, we also got an email about the same subject from David, who says, you were wondering why or who would use a larger iPad. I'm a national consultant for an insurance company. My job is to work our agents and help them sell our products. We have hundreds of flyers and articles and other marketing material. I used to carry around a huge thick binder with examples. Now I show PDFs on the iPad. I've owned every version until the Air came out. I will buy the largest screen the first day if it'll let me show a full-size PDF that is based on an 8.5 by 11 format, which is
Oh, so he
regular.
wants it to be a page,
Yeah.
A4 or 8.5 by 11.
Says, I believe salespeople would flock to the
interesting.
size for this use. Again, yeah, there are these use cases where you say, by itself, I don't know if Apple is really thinking about specific business markets, but the more it seems like something that people want and do not have, the more it could become a viable product.
There is a counterexample. It's not the perfect counterexample, but remember, Amazon released a Kindle DX,
Yeah.
a bigger Kindle, which Steve Gibson loved. A lot of people said this is great, killed it because everybody bought the smaller Kindle. It's reading. It's not the same.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit more limited, so it's harder to justify what's mostly just text on a screen.
So it's not a perfect example.
But I think it's like, I prefer the iPad Air to the iPad Mini, even though the iPad Mini now looks just as nice.
Yeah, see, I'm using a Mini, so that's, oh no, this is an Air.
Yeah. It's just so thin, it's hard to...
It's hard to tell.
The Mini's quite mini.
The Mini's my iPad at home.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm moving from one to the other like there's a big difference.
I don't either, but I just feel that the Air it's just the right form factor for me. But again, it's like saying, well, no phone should ever be bigger than 4 inches. I mean, some people like that, the phablet form factor. So hey, larger iPad.
To be fair, when iPad Air came out, you, Sarah Lane, said, I want an iPad Pro. You thought, in fact, that was what was going on, is that there was going to be another one. Didn't you?
Well,
Am I giving you credit for something you didn't?
Yes, I'd love to take it, but no, that's actually. I think Tom Merritt was the one who said,
Was it Tom?
I think this is a naming convention that's
Because they're going to go to
going
Pro.
to replicate the MacBook
So it was Tom who
line.
said that. All right, so
Well, I think a lot of people said it.
because
but-
they have a Mac Mini
Yes.
and they have an iMac and then they have a Mac Pro, but the thinking being the Mini would be there'd be Mini, there would be an Air, like
Right.
the MacBook Air, and then
Yeah.
there'd be a MacBook Pro or something like that, which would be a bigger iPad Pro.
Yeah, in the iPad world, I'm not saying that I would not want an iPad Pro. I guess I'm sort of like, well, I have a lot of storage space here. I don't really hold that many videos on my iPad anyway. I have a ton of apps. What is the Air not affording me? I'm not exactly sure. But I don't know what I'm missing yet, so
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
Apple's not like Samsung. Samsung did that with the Galaxy S4. They made a Mini, they made a Maxi, they made a Mega, they made a Mid. They have every size you could want. Apple doesn't do that. That's just a different kind of way of working. Samsung says, we'll give you every kind, you choose the one you want. Apple says, we've looked, carefully thought, and decided that these are the sizes for you.
Mm-hmm. Got an email from Steve, who's in Kailua Kona, Hawaii. Hello,
Which is where we
Steve.
should be right now.
Yeah. Who says, this is a really great tip. My public library has a deal for free magazines. I installed the Zinio app, we've talked about this in the past, created a user account that went into my library website to choose a magazine.
Cool.
It then becomes available in the app. They even have back issues. Libraries across the country are participating. They have a nice selection. As a retiree, my budget for subscriptions is limited, so this is very cool. I didn't know that this was going on, and in fact, I went back to my Zinio app, Steve, and I was like, all right, well, that's really cool. I want to know if my San Francisco branch of the public library that's pretty close to me is also participating, because free magazines, right? And I can't find in my settings if there's something very obvious as to how you would know that. Maybe it's something that I would have to go into the library first and get an account through them or something like that. But it sounds like Steve says, hey, there are a lot of libraries across the country that are going to be able to allow you to take the magazines with you, because obviously it's your iPad.
Have you used Zinio?
Love Zinio.
I mean, it's the original magazine app.
Right.
How does it compare to Newsstand for reading a magazine? Is it pretty similar?
Yes.
You turn the pages.
You mean if you
Just the
subscribe
physical-
to like a Rolling Stone or something?
Yeah,
and
what
it
the
ends up
physical
in the-
appearance is like, or the user interface and all that.
Well, I'll show you. Let's go ahead and do a little reading because it'll give you some stuff for free.
They've been around forever. I mean, they really are the first magazine. So it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
All right, it's very similar.
Yeah, and well, we're looking at.
Do they
ads
have
right now.
touch targets? Can you click on things? And,
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it's very similar.
Yeah.
Ooh, what you just did, you can't do you can't do the pinch zoom. You can tap, right? And newsstand, or maybe you can on some magazines.
You can.
Seems like you can't always do that.
On some magazines. What's neat too is you see what I just did is this article in INC, which was talking about I don't know, whatever they're talking about at sea. You see here, it's not exactly
you can.
it's not
I'm
exactly
sorry.
perfect. Yeah, I mean the pinch and zoom is pretty
I guess you
universally.
can. All right.
Because they figure, hey, people have all sorts of varying
I do it all the time. I want to do it.
eye
yeah.
issues. So, but if something is linked, for the most part, you can see it's not. It should be to the right
It's
a
a
tiny
little
bit.
off.
But you can go like, oh, cool. All right. So you've got some nice linkable stuff. What's neat about this on Zinio is, so this is a magazine that is being offered to me, and you can go ahead and explore free articles. So if you're like, you know what, I don't know, is this really something that I'm going to take advantage
That
of?
Ron Burgundy's everywhere.
Well, you know, new movie and all.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
Never seen so much publicity.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah, it's a little overdone. You might agree. But yeah, you've got some fashion
Okay.
stuff.
See, I can't do it on the New York Times. I can't pinch zoom.
Oh, huh.
That's probably where I was.
Maybe.
'Cause this is what I read
Because you
most
spend so
in
much time on
Newsstand.
the New
Yeah,
York
yeah.
Times. Do you find, but you can adjust the text in the settings. So you
Yeah.
can make your text bigger.
And I can't
You're
do it
just
with
not
pictures.
pinching and zooming.
But I can't. Yeah.
If you're interested in the magazines that are on offer at Zinio, they do have a variety of examples. So you get like a little taste. Like if you go, okay, let's go science and tech. That's what I'm interested in. Oh, there's Apple magazine. Okay. I can go ahead and read a story
the
about
worshippers
women.
in the Church of Apple.
Looks like something like sweet digital revenge, treating men as objects. Oh, it's probably an article about Lulu or something.
I am so sick of being treated as an object.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, yep, it is Lulu, I knew it. We haven't talked about Lulu on the show because I just can't.
Who's Lulu?
Oh, it's an app where women rate men and say nasty things about them.
You just don't want you don't want me to know about it so that I won't see what you've said about me.
No, but we've never dated. It's about dating.
Oh, you have to date? Oh,
You
no.
have to, that's why you know
You
the
can't
details
just
that you know.
arbitrarily say,
You
I think
could.
that guy's a jerk.
You could, and that's why it's a stupid app, because women are vengeful.
You could pretend.
I mean, let's be honest.
And men.
Everybody.
Man, everybody's
But, you know,
vengeful.
it's like you give somebody anonymity and they're going to say terrible things about somebody who hurt their feelings.
By the way, a number of people have told us, including Myra Joyce and now Dr. Mom, that if you Google Zinio and library, you'll find a Zinio page that describes how to use the library with Zinio.
Oh, that's great.
Dr. Mom's Great
I wish
Neck
it was a little
Library.
bit more obvious in the app itself.
Yeah, it's not in the app. You have to kind of go from the outside
You
in.
just have to know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Well, if you went to the library ever, they probably have a big sign that says,
Sure, but
Check
I
out
don't.
magazines
I
on
don't
your
go to the
iPad.
library all that often because that's where people take showers and stuff. It's weird. It's a weird library.
really? You could do that now? Because I would do that.
Well, yeah. If you want to come on down to the San Francisco Public
very-
Library,
very common
you just go
downtown.
ahead and live there, basically.
Yeah.
Reminder that we love getting all of your feedback. You've got great ideas. Steve in Kailua knows about Zinio, and now everybody else does as well. Feedback for things that we talk about, apps that you want us to discuss on future episodes. We want to hear from you. And reminder, Leo mentioned it, that starting Monday, we start our new time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Very excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. A couple of you have said that since we're starting earlier in the day, you can't watch us live anymore, which is a bummer. But
Oh.
I know, because you got some pesky job or something. But you can always download the show, watch it at your leisure. You can listen to it if you prefer to be, driving along in your car or whatever it is you might be doing.
When did that? Come on.
Well,
That didn't happen.
you did it to yourself.
I
And
thought
to
I
me,
dreamt
actually.
that, but did it actually happen?
No, it's something that we all experienced that day.
Oh,
all of us. Our show notes are all there. It's all extremely, extremely helpful, or we try to make it as helpful as possible. And yes, we're excited about our new time. But if you missed the show live, And yes, the live show, everybody likes it because you get to see the pre-show and where everybody's having a lot of fun. But the finished show is slightly different because we have a lot more information about apps and pricing, and it's a different experience altogether. So we don't want to leave you hanging. Write us at iPad@twit.tv. Leave us a voicemail at 757-504-IPAD. You can send us a video.
Do we ever get any calls at that number anymore?
Yeah, we do.
Did you change the outbound message to not scare people?
No, it's still weird.
So call that number and hear the outbound message.
Well, but every time that we say that, then I get a lot of people being like, "This is funny."
Oh,
and then
sorry.
they hang up.
I'm sorry I did that.
It's fine. No, it's good.
You just edit
I
that
should
out.
probably change the outgoing message. But no, we do get voicemails. A lot of the voicemails are really long, or somebody.
Keep them short,
or,
folks.
Or are you like, yeah, just nice.
Don't say your phone number in the voicemail.
That's also something that
We can't
we're not.
play it.
We want to respect your privacy too much for that.
Yeah.
And yes.
And we're not going to call you back, so.
No, it's just a voicemail box.
Just for one way.
But I promise I'm in there. I'm looking for your feedback all day, every week. All right. Well, have you
Say the number again, because Vince wants it now, so he can hear the weirdness.
757-504-4723.
I don't think I've ever
That
heard
spells
it.
IPAD. iPad. All right. What do you think about going into app caps?
Already now?
Yeah,
Wow.
this is it. I know. It's,
When you don't have commercials, this show is a lot shorter.
Yeah, you think?
Hey, wow.
Look,
Did you get the
we're
Fez
matching each
memo?
other. Looks like I did. Da, 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 da.
That's a good
Loving
look
the
on you.
Fez. Thank
This
you.
not so much.
No, it's nice. Oh, am I supposed to say Mad Magazine?
No,
mine
yours doesn't
have
say
one.
anything. I got that one in Cairo.
All
They
right.
never heard of Mad in Cairo.
Well, they should.
No.
I think they'd like it a lot.
I got that in Cairo from a Fez making machine.
Isn't that nice? What?
You see? Now she hears what I said. You go up and the guy it's like a hot dog stand, except instead of hot dogs, he's got a thing and he goes and it makes the Fez.
Okay.
Is that weird or what?
Yeah. It kind of is there some sort of like, is it gratifying to watch your Fez being made in front of you?
And it fits.
Almost like somebody's like making your hot dog? Or... Okay.
It's a Fez. It's the strangest thing I ever saw. It's a Fez dispenser. There it is. No,
is that what it looks
actually,
like?
that's a very fancy Fez making machine.
Made
Does the
of
same
gold.
thing. Yeah, that's a very fancy one. But that's basically it. Yeah. Because if you look inside your Fez, it's just straw, and then they put the felt around it. And
Well, it feels very substantial. I hope you didn't pay too much for it.
the only thing wrong with it, and the reason it's a little squished up, is I had to put it in my luggage. And so
It's
it kind
okay.
of got squished.
It's okay. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mine is perfect, except that it shrank when I went out in the rain.
You wore your, and your little tassel is a bit chewed up. I don't know what happened there. Somebody gnawing on it.
It's not that. Speak for yourself. Your tassel's not so great either.
Well, but yours is like Goldilocks, weird. You can't really see mine. I think mine's okay.
Yours a little raggedy right now. But we can fix it up.
There's a lot of things.
It actually is very
raggedy about me right
becoming.
now.
It's very becoming on you right now.
Thank you.
Looks quite
I
lovely.
enjoy my Fez as well. All right, the App Cap Awards are the time in the show where Leo and I, we each choose one app that we like and think that you would like too, and we talk about them while wearing hats. Yay! App Cap Awards. So mine this week is, okay, I think that honestly this app has very good potential. It's brand new. I found it in the App Store. And I think that I'm almost not a good candidate for this because for years I've been using LinkedIn as my sole place for my resume. Anytime I've got like a new show that I, feel like, I add that to my CV. I always use LinkedIn for that because I
So it
figure
kind of is always keeping it up to date and
yeah,
generated. and
that's
everything.
that's always what I've said is just it just makes the most sense to me. However, you might need something that that a new workplace is looking to know more about you.
Is this a hint? Are you trying to tell me something?
What?
Are you actually? I don't use LinkedIn. Do you like LinkedIn?
I don't use
feel like it's
LinkedIn
spammy.
really unless
I feel like it's spammy. Like,
well, it's
when I was a
spammy.
member, I used to get a lot of email and crap.
You can turn all of that off.
Okay.
It takes forever because they'll
Okay.
be like, okay, you're unsubscribed from this very specific mailing list. Now we'll send you other LinkedIn mailing lists. It's possible to stop getting friend requests, but No,
But for my kids who are in college, they should, and anybody who's kind of looking for work.
I
It's
feel
the
like
only way. There's no competitor.
some people are LinkedIn haters. I'm not, but no, I'm not going every day to read the original content on LinkedIn. But I do have a resume that's totally updated. I think it is, and that's where it lives. But you might want something that's just a little bit more interesting to help you stand out from the crowd. And an app called Shine might be that
Because
app.
it polishes up your resume.
It's not just that it does that, but it makes it very
It's an infographic.
Exactly. So if I'm like, okay, I'm Sarah Lane, host producer here. Am I not allowed to zoom in? That's a little silly. Now, what it does is it breaks down, it has a variety of templates, but it breaks down basic information like what's your name, what's your job title, host producer, location Petaluma, United States, I skipped my phone number.
This would guarantee that you would do all the required things for one thing.
Exactly.
It's like a template that really makes sure you do it.
Right.
But also that resume is going to stand out.
It's going to stand out. You tell a little bit about yourself. And then it gets interesting. Okay, well, what's the start date that I started here at Twit? Company name. What's my position? You get into your educational background, and then it's kind of cool stuff like, hey, what are some milestones? Maybe in a particular year you won an award at your company and it was like something that made you feel really good and you think that the next employer would be really excited about that. Or maybe it's just something that you want to build for yourself for posterity. You've got facts about yourself. It's kind of neat. Like what's my skill set? Am I punctual?
So you actually, do you give yourself stars based on that?
Yeah. What are my people skills like? What about leadership?
Excellent.
If I were an animal, what would I be?
No.
I chose leopard because kitty. Yeah. And
well, is that going to go in your resume?
I don't care who knows it. I'm proud. I'm proud of that fact.
Wait a minute. I don't recommend, if you're giving, I'll be honest. If I saw a resume that said, if I could be any animal I'd want, I would be this.
You'd say.
I don't think I take that as so seriously.
Well, so this is a category.
It's a suggestion.
Yeah.
It's a category suggestion.
It's a category suggestion.
You don't have to use it.
And you've got fun little keywords, and yeah, I love that.
Jeff Needles, who is a college kid, and he's sitting right there, says that that's a common interview question. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why? That's an interviewer who has really nothing much to ask, I guess.
Well, times are changing. So you've got this is a template called Cursa. It looks pretty cool. But then you've got some other options here. And all of your information will, it'll just carry over. Now, I haven't filled this out completely. So some of this stuff is my information and some of it is not. I didn't start working in
of course you would put a link to LinkedIn here too, which would then give the person additional information.
Yeah. I just think I think it looks really good. It's fun and creative. And I love how it says.
I love it.
If I were an animal, I'd be a leopard because kitty. And then
did that show up?
Where is?
Oh, there it is.
It's right down there. If I were an animal, that's my little. And then I say, what are my interests? Food,
is that on page
drink, wine, music, and photography.
Is that on page 4?
It's all on one page.
That's all one page.
Yeah, I'm just looking at different templates. Yeah, these are just different ways to say the same thing. I love it. I think it's pretty cool.
I think that's really a great idea.
Here's the catch.
$1,000.
7.
Oh, that's not bad.
But
if you're out of work.
I feel like $7 is a little high for kind of any app. I mean, even a game that's $7, I'd be like, well, better be a pretty good game. So I think, again, that I preface this saying, I think that this app has a lot of potential, but for that kind of money, I want to see like 50 templates rather than 5.
Well, I wonder if someday.
Sure. It says in the app more templates coming soon, and it's new. So again, I think it's worth a look.
Yeah.
And if you're in the job market or you just want a CV that just looks cool and you don't think you could build it on your own, this is your app.
And that's the biggest problem, frankly, is when you're applying for a job, somebody's looking at a stack of resumes.
Yeah.
If something like that arrives, it stands out. Now, you probably shouldn't have told everybody about this, because now if you get 100 like that, you're going to go, oh yeah, they use that Shine thing.
True.
It should be secret.
But I feel like
we should make a deal. Only people who watch this show should know about this. Don't tell anybody else, because that'll give you an advantage. Because if everybody uses it, it's no advantage.
We're a bad church congregation because we're supposed to be inviting people.
No sharing.
All right.
Usually I say that, but not this time.
You didn't come to the sermon. You don't get to know about this $7 app that you need.
It's too good for people who
church.
don't watch the show.
Right.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
So we talked last time we were on, I don't know when that was. It feels like years ago. Oh, it was last year.
I haven't seen you since last year.
It's a bad old joke. That it's like a dad joke, but I'm a dad and I'm old, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
When we saw each other last time, we talked about the fact that the Zepto Labs had just announced the sequel to Cut the Rope. And it's
Correct.
here. Cut the Rope. Get ready for this. 2. It's just more great cut the rope action for you. You gotta love this guy, though. You're not sick of him yet, are you?
No, I think he's adorable.
Yeah, so the whole idea
Om-Nom.
is to give Om-Nom stuff to eat. And now, you're used to this. Number of stars you get, it starts easy, gets hard. It's a category these days. These are physics problems. Om-Nom's got to get the candy somehow, and you, on the way, have to get all the stars somehow. Now, all of these things, these like little rubber bands can be cut, and then something will happen. In this case, something not good. So you can do it over. Let's try cutting this one first. And then cutting this one. Oh, look at that. And then, Om-Nom didn't get his candy. So I'm thinking,
He seems like he's grown up a little bit.
is he more mature?
He seems a little bit more, I don't know if mature is the word I would use, but somehow evolved, slightly more evolved.
See, now I don't think there's anywhere I can go either. Oh, I cut the wrong one. Let's do that again. One more time. No, I don't want to. See,
No.
2 levels. No, I forgot what I did, though.
Here you go.
Okay, and now. Oh, I hit Om-Nom in the head. Oh,
There you
who
go.
knew that would work? I've learned something here today. I hope you all have too. Cut the Rope 2. It's out 99 cents. So it's inexpensive fun. It's not freemium. It's 99 cents, and you don't have to worry. What happened when I... Well,
Yeah, you missed one. Well, because they were going back and forth.
I hate it when that happens. Let's do this one again. Oh, should I do it now? No.
Almost.
Is the key doing it at the right time?
Yeah, because you want him to be
So
basically
it's
in a
gonna go up
vertical
there.
line.
Yeah, but they're moving those around.
Well, you have to be patient.
I want to be
Think
patient.
about being, think about your patience. See?
Pop it now.
There you
Here we go. But he did get the candy. So you want the stars and the candy.
go. 99 cents
get
for
this.
Om-Nom.
I think this is worth it.
Totally.
Many,
And
many layers.
They really are.
It's so well done.
It's very
cute.
creative.
A lot of
Yeah.
kids love this
It's
game.
physics. Just tell your parents it's physics. You want me to be good at physics, right? Give me $1.
And for all the kids who put the turkey in the slingshot at Thanksgiving Day, no.
Yeah, it doesn't work in real life as well.
You cannot shoot
You will break a
birds
window.
at pigs. You'll hurt yourself.
You'll shoot your eye out, and then you won't be able to play anything. 'Cause-
And somebody's saying Rovio's, speaking of Angry Birds stuff, is free right now. All of it. So there.
Well, that comes to the end of our first show of 2014.
Seems very short somehow.
2014.
We could next time. Let's do a bunch of ads. What do you say?
Okay.
Stretch it out a little bit.
Sure.
Fill it out.
Yeah.
Make it longer.
Well, it's just what it is, you know? You cut out like a good 15 minutes or so. That's how it goes. I mean, it's our present to you, right?
And did I say Happy New Year?
Happy New
Sarah
Year to
Lane?
everybody.
And we'll be back next week at a new time again, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2
Next
p.m.
Monday, you're going to be
Eastern.
at CES.
I won't be here.
So you will miss the episode.
I
but
am not, by the way, going to be at CES.
Oh, I thought that's
I'm
where
at
you were
New
going.
Media Expo.
Okay.
The trade
I-
show
yes.
for podcasters.
Yes. Fun.
No, not really.
Oh.
It's about 5 people there. It's very small. But I will be. I'm going to be hosting a panel
Oh, okay.
about the future of streaming, and then I believe I'm doing something else. I don't remember what it is.
That is excellent. So Leo won't be here.
Yes, I
He'll
will.
figure out what he's doing.
I
sometime
will
before
not be
Monday.
here. I'll be at New Media Expo. We'll be back. We'll be back with the show because you're going to have a guest host.
That's right. We'll do a guest host, and then you'll be back the following Monday. So
I shall.
we'll have our new time. Give us feedback about that as well. Until then, thanks for watching iPad Today. Ow!